So you're in the middle of writing a book when all of a sudden, when you hit a roadblock or you're in the middle of doing something else, you get that idea for a different book or a new idea or a new direction, and you get really excited. All of a sudden, those feelings and emotions of inspiration and motivation for this new thing are all going around, and the excitement for the project that you were already working on kind of fizzles, right? Or you just hit a snag and you're like, well, I'll come back to that one later, and you start working on this new thing, right? And this has been something that's happened numerous times. So maybe at this point, you actually have multiple partially completed projects, and you haven't actually reached the end with one project. I'm Katelyn Silva, and I'm the founder of We Write Books. I help Christian women to finally write and publish their bestseller and use that as a business tool for impact, authority, and ultimately accomplishing their God-given purpose through the book, whether that be on the fiction side or the nonfiction side. And today I want to talk about how you can stop hopping from idea to idea and stay really focused on that one book that you need to finish and get to the end and then go on to the next one. So if you don't already have a journal or a notebook or a folder in your computer that you use to keep track of those new ideas, you need to start one today. So make sure you have something like that, something that you can jot down those new ideas when they strike, so that you can come back to them later and you're not worried that you're going to lose them between the busyness of life and all the other things going on, right? Number two is that when you have written down that idea in that folder or notebook or resource or whatever it is, it's important that you recognize that there are going to be elements of that you also need to keep with that little snippet so that you can remember everything that came up when your idea originally struck. So when you write it down, make sure you also take a little bit of time and jot down any kind of additional topics you want to explore, maybe an overall summary. Just kind of give yourself enough when you write it down that you could come back to it later and remember that idea in its capacity, in its full capacity, for what it came to you in the original spark of inspiration. The next thing is, when you have that idea strike, I want you to take some time to actually just sit with it, not get super emotional and just dive right in, but rather just take that time to reflect and let the emotions kind of even out, right? And then think about that idea practically. Is this an idea that you could sit down and you could actually, you can see the content clearly enough that you'd be able to get to the end in a reasonable time frame? Like if you were writing consistently and staying with it and all of that. If that is the case, then I want you to think about maybe prioritizing the number of ideas you've written down and which one you want to get to next. Because sometimes just knowing that that's the next idea you're going to get to can be really exciting and almost like a motivation to finish what you're working on so that you can start working on the next one that you're also excited about. So that can kind of serve as a 2-for-1 win, right? And then after you've written down that idea, look at that current project that you're working on and ask yourself that question of, why am I stuck, right? What's really happening underneath the surface? Is it an issue of clarity? Is it an issue where you just need some more research? Is it that you have reached a point where you're not sure how to get from where you are to the end? What does that look like for you? I've actually done a full-length training on understanding those root causes of why you get stuck and how to overcome them with real practical exercises that you can implement and then get going again so you can reach the end. So I'd love for you to get that training. So if you have been stuck, you've been idea hopping, and you do want to get to the end with your project and then be able to move on to additional ideas and get those written as well, then get the training. I'll put the link for you guys below. You can also go to wewritebooks.com. It is under the author resources tab. So I'd love to see you inside of that training. And remember that your book can change a life.